What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? I hope everyone is doing well today. This is Coach Cookie, your life and relationship coach. Thanks for tuning in to today's episode of Rising Higher. Here we just go chit chat about life, relationships, and I'm going to give you some snippets for success to not only help you to survive, but to help you thrive. Now, in today's episode, I want to talk about the Ministry of Motherhood. Yes, we're going to focus on our mothers and talk about the Ministry of Motherhood. But before we do that, I want to go over some of the high points from last week's episode titled, How the Narcissist is Created. Now, basically from this episode, the root of the issue starts when parents fail to provide adequate nurturing and love to their children. Basically, the child becomes emotionally detached from their parents, and they never learn the value of people, which creates this generation of crippled, defective shells that are not capable of love, and believe it or not, they're never happy. If this sounds like something that you would like to learn more about, check out the entire episode. It's called How the Narcissist is Created. Now, today on Cookie's Commentary, I want to take some time to encourage all of my empaths that are struggling with dealing with a toxic person. For example, the narcissist. Now, this toxic person could be someone that you're in a relationship with. It could be a coworker on your job, or it could even be a family member. I want us to think about this and stop and think about this really carefully, okay? Remember the superhero Wonder Woman? Now, I don't know anything about today's Wonder Woman. I don't know about her. I'm talking about the Wonder Woman back in the 70s. Her weakness was bullets, but to protect herself, she had to use her shield and those bracelets on her arm to protect herself from the bullets. Okay, so let's think about the narcissist, and he has lots of bullets, such as gaslighting, blame shifting, and triangulation, anything that he tries to play on you in mind games. Okay, those are the bullets. As an empath, you too are a superhero, and it's time for you to take charge and use your superpower. Yes, you have a shield, and your shield is the Word of God. Remember, the Word of God says that he that is in you is greater than he that is in the world, and that no weapon formed against you shall prosper. I need for my empaths to take time to talk to the Lord and tell him about your thoughts and your feelings that you've been struggling with, and pray for God's guidance and wisdom as you walk in this new territory. Never feel bad, and never forget that God doesn't make any mistakes, and he had you in that toxic relationship for a reason. When you don't have your shield, you become weak and you lose your power, your confidence, and you end up falling for the narcissist games, and you start to feel guilty. Yes, the empath's kryptonite is guilt, and it simply just brings you to your knees, and you feel hurt and you feel sorry for the narcissist, and then you finally give in and you tell him yes. But let's be real. In reality, the truth is that the narcissist is hurting you, but the mind games make you feel like you're the one that's wrong. From that point, the cycle continues, and you have given all the power to the narcissist to disrespect you again. What you need to start doing to get out of this vicious cycle by using your shield so you can build up the courage to tell that crusty, dusty narcissist, excuse me, not today, Satan. To all my empaths, keep your head up and be proud that you're an empath. Remember, you have to be strong and use your weapons. If you're having a difficult time and you're struggling with guilt and you keep saying yes when you know you should be saying no, you're not using your boundary superpowers. If you have a difficult time with that, hit me up and let's talk about it at heycoachcookie@gmail.com. Let's see if you could benefit from coaching. Okay? So, with that being said, we're going to keep it real. And today on Keeping It Real, I have a question for Stephanie, and she says, Hey Coach Cookie, I've been in this relationship for 8 years, and within this time period, we have been sexually involved. I recently asked this man that I'm involved with, what are we doing? He responded back and said that I'm too busy, so I don't want to hold you back from anyone else you may be interested in. Coach Cookie, I am so confused and I need to know, what does this mean? Okay, without really dealing with you both in a coaching session, it's hard to tell what is really going on in this relationship. But based on what I just read in this question, I'm going to tell you what I think it means. It seems like he's making the excuse to say that He's too busy to have a serious relationship with you, so I'm allowing you to go out and explore what's out there. Remember, men are very territorial, and they are not going to tell you to go out and explore your options to see what you can find. So what he's really saying without saying it is, I don't love you and I would never love you in that manner. But as long as you allow me, I'm going to use you for sex and whatever else I can get from you. I want you to think of it like this. Would you tell him or anyone else that you're involved with in a serious relationship that, hey, I'm too busy today, so why don't you just go have sex with the girl down the street and any other girl that you want to have sex with? People just don't tell people anything like that they are really serious about and that they care about. So to me, what he's telling you is that you're not special enough, so I have demoted you to be with other people. If that's what he's really saying and how he's really treating you, I want you to take some time, step back, and think if this is the best thing for you and if it's a healthy relationship for you to continue in. And I would love to hear from my listeners who have been through something similar to this and have some suggestions or advice for Stephanie. And I'm sure she would appreciate it too as well. Okay? So today, let's get right into the topic of the Ministry of Motherhood. Now, to all my mothers, do you feel like you're messing things up and that you're not enough? So today I have a special message for you to get you up out of your funk, okay? Let's take some time and think about this. With every life and heartbeat began with a woman who was willing to accept a divine spiritual role called mother. Yes, this is the divine calling and or ministry that man can't duplicate. No matter what they do, no matter how hard they try, this is the one thing that man cannot duplicate. These women are often not appreciated for their sticky, sleepless, soul-stretching career, which started out in 9 months and lasts a lifetime. Yes, I'm sorry, mothers. My children are grown, in their 30s, but I'm here to tell you right now that this ministry lasts for a lifetime. And during this spiritual journey, you're going to work on overcoming some of your adversities. You are going to be working on your never ending process of healing your intergenerational wounds. But in spite of all that you face, all that you've been through, all that you go through, most of the time, what you do comes from a good place. And no matter what happened in your life or in your journey, you always seem to show up for your children. But there are a lot of times where you start to feel like a failure. Here it is, another day, more chores, more laundry, more dishes, screaming kids, and more demands that you will never fully achieve. You're so overwhelmed beyond comprehension, you cannot even seem to catch up. You wake up another day and you're further behind than you were the day before. You can't get anything done because the children need you, your husband needs you. Oh my God, it's just all too much. And it's impossible to get it all done, and you start feeling defeated. Now, I don't know what you're dealing with or how many children that you have, but I do know one thing that is true is for all moms is that our job is basically impossible. Now, let's be real. It's impossible. We can't possibly do all the things that we think we should do as a mother. So we often feel defeated. We often get stressed out and find ourselves sitting on the couch with a cup of coffee thinking to ourselves, by the grace of God, please help me make it through this day. And we try to pull out the minimum amount of work that we can. And then you think to yourself, okay, tomorrow I'll rise up and I'll be stronger and I'll get more done. Okay, to all my mothers, listen, get off your phones, get off of your computers, get a cup of coffee, and wake up to what I'm about to say. Let's think about this and put this concept in perspective because this is a very crucial step, and this is part of your story of motherhood, of being a mom, and as a result, you are creating a meaningful life for you and your children. We need to get our priorities in order and start communicating those little things to your children and your spouse that's really important to you. Basically, as a mother, I need for you to think about what you want your story to look like. Okay, really, coach, what are you talking about? Okay, let me break it down to you like this and give you a really good example. When I was young, I remember my mother teaching us how to read, what the words meant. She was in school working on her master's and eventually her doctorate degree when I was really small. So most of the time when I was young, I would be doing my homework while my mother was doing her homework. And when I finished my homework, she would check it to make sure I would understand it. A lot of our daily family activities and games consisted of something that had to do with education or music. She really loved music. She also loved tennis, so we would go to the park most of the days to play tennis. Every Saturday was our trip to the library, and of course, she cooked a meal every day. Yes, she was the queen of mealtime, bath time, bedtime. She snuggled with us when we were sick. She was the inspiring officer, the disciplinarian, the cheerleader, and she was an extremely hard worker. Now, what my mother communicated to me when I was young was that your education is very important, and no matter the obstacles that you come up against, that I could be anything that I want to be if I worked hard enough and put my mind to it. Then whatever I decided I wanted to be, I better give it my all and be the best one out there doing it. She taught me that my children were my responsibility, not anyone else's responsibility. And whatever I was doing, my children should be able to be a part of that. From what my mother did with me all the time, this was the message that she gave me. Now, to help you get ready to develop your life story you want to pass down to your children, you're going to want to love yourself first. During this process, die to self so you can learn to be more giving to others. Yes, you have to be giving. Remember, being a mother or being a wife is a selfless ministry, which means that you can't be selfish. It can't be all about you. If you are selfish, this could also contribute to your stress of being a mother or a wife. But don't worry about making any mistakes. Remember, we're all life learners. You'll get there. I'm praying for you. You'll get there. Remember, it's not your job to mold your children in a specific outcome. That's out of your control. You got to put that in the hands of the Lord. That doesn't have anything to do with you. You just need to be an example of the life you want to teach your children. Don't compare what you're doing with what somebody else is doing, because believe it or not, they don't know what they're doing. They don't have the answer. And your family unique situation has nothing to do with their situation. So stop comparing families, okay? Focus on yourself and start praying and asking God about your family's unique situation challenges. As you pray and work on yourself, you will become self-aware and conscious of your role as a mother, and eventually your eyes will be open as to your family's values, purpose, and what is important to you. As a mother, your main goal is to minister this vision to your children and your husband. That's it. That's your job. That's it. Don't stress out about anything else. As a mother, your main goal is to minister the vision to your children and your husband. Listen to me. Don't worry about how much you weigh, how much money you make, how clean your house is, how many clothes you wash today, how popular you are on social media. That's not important. So stop being so stressed out and just focus on what type of mother you want to be. When you figure that out and what your ministry is to your family, remember that's all your children need for you to do is just show up as that person in order to teach and love them the best way that you can. That is your ministry as a mother. When your priority is your family's ministry, this will build your self-esteem, your confidence, and out of nowhere, you'll get the surge of energy to do those things around the house when it's time to do those things. Just let it work out itself, okay? To all my mothers out there, you got this. And if no one else has told you today, I love each and every one of you. I really hope that you've learned something from this message today. And if you're struggling when it comes to parenting, let's talk about it. You can contact me at heycoachcookie@gmail.com to see if you could benefit from coaching, or your children could benefit from coaching, or your family could benefit from coaching. I would love to hear your thoughts on this topic and share your experiences. Remember, it will help other people who may be going through this, and I'm sure they would love to hear from you as well. Also, I want to be able to bring content that meets your needs. So if you have any questions that you would like for me to answer, or if you have a topic that you would like for me to do a video on, please let me know. To all my podcast listeners, if you love what you hear, please review on your favorite platform, and don't forget to share it with others. To my YouTube listeners, don't forget to leave a comment, like, subscribe, and share. Hey, this is Coach Cookie reminding you to love yourself first as we rise higher together. Be blessed, and I'll talk to you soon.